Hi guys. Hi guys, good evening. How are you guys doing wherever you are? Welcome to another
episode.
I wanted to say vlog, then I realized okay, no, this is not a vlog. This is more of a sit down video. So yeah, I have here with me my friend, and by now, if you're an OG on the channel, you should know her by now because March this year we did a surprise baby shower for her, and I vlogged that. Yeah, she's here today to say hi to you guys on the channel. Alaba, just say hi.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone. So she's here with her baby, and we got talking, and I started asking her so many questions about giving birth in Germany, the processes, the procedures, what to expect, mistakes to avoid, and all that. And the way she was dishing all the, I'm like, no, this is a vital information that should be out there because it might help one or two people we can't say and we don't know. So yeah, I'm here to just, question her. Let her just give us. She has given birth in Germany, so she has been there. And this is a disclaimer. Whatever she's saying is based on her own experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, based on your own experience. So yeah, at least we'll get to learn one or two things, especially if you are a newcomer in Germany and you've not given birth before and you don't know what it entails, the processes you need to do, the procedures and whatever it is. She's here to just tell us, and the mistakes you need to avoid. So yeah, let's start. So where do we start from? So just tell us about your experience, like first step when you got pregnant. What did you do?
Okay, so like I was saying earlier, so once you've taken an home pregnancy test and you find out that you're pregnant, so you need to do a blood test, obviously, to confirm.
Okay.
But you don't need to go to your GP, because if you go to your GP will just end up referring you to your gynecologist.
Wow.
So the first thing you need to do is, if you don't already have a gynecologist, you need to find a gynecologist. I mean, every woman should have a gynecologist that they see.
Sorry, what if you don't have, you're a newcomer in Germany? How do you look for a gynecologist?
I mean, like everything else, you check Google, check Google reviews, you see what practices. First, you do gynecologist near me, obviously, and then you dive in their reviews and see. But you can also do friends and family referrals, so that at least you have like familiarity with people already who use them. So once you go to your gynecologist and then you tell them that you're pregnant, they would, first thing, you have to make an appointment on the phone, via the phone.
Trust Germany.
So even if you find out in week 1 or week 2 that you're pregnant, first things first, you have to make an appointment, and typically they give appointments around 8 to 12 weeks. Well, in my experience, it was 12 weeks.
That's a long time.
Yes.
So like when you immediately you found out you were pregnant, what you did was call them on the phone, and how would they calculate? Okay, you tell them your last menstruation, right?
Yes, they'll ask you when last did you see your period, and then when you tell them, based on that, they will calculate
and give you appointment. But
exactly
where we come from, especially in Nigeria, I've been to some lectures where they tell you folate is very essential. But this 12 weeks is something that is, I don't know. So you don't take any vitamin prior to that appointment during that 12 weeks?
I mean, it depends. So for everyone, someone like me, I was already on folic acid way before I got pregnant. But again, it's still a very short window between day 0 and week 12.
Well, I heard that's when the organs begin to develop, and I don't know. I was in a lecture a few years back, and the man was like, we take folate for granted. Like most of us will start antenatal when we are 3 months gone, 4 months gone, and the damage has already been done. That we need folate, which is very essential. We can find that in oranges, and then you can just get the folic acid B2 or whatever. But yeah, now I'm just so shocked that you have to wait 12 weeks before seeing the gynecologist.
It depends. Also, if you're concerned about taking folate,
you can just buy.
You can buy, but I wouldn't advise you take drugs without prescriptions. You can ask them over the phone that pending when you come in for your appointment. I doubt they will, but they can also, based on your request, if they can bring, you can also ask if they can bring your appointment forward. I don't know why they waited that long for me, but I didn't ask questions. You can also walk into a pharmacy and try to find out,
maybe get prenatal care.
I'm pregnant, I want prenatal care, and then you see what the pharmacist can do for you as well.
Okay, so after the pregnancy, just run us through the procedures. After the appointment, rather, just run us through the procedures. What happens?
Okay, so once you get an appointment, the first thing they'll do is they will do a blood test to confirm that indeed you are pregnant. Once you do that, there are certain things that you need to do. So from when they confirm your pregnancy, your appointment with your gynecologist now become every 1 month. That's every 4 weeks until week 36 thereabouts, where it will now be bi-weekly. But every 4 weeks, what do you expect from your gynecologist? You go in, they do a blood draw to check your iron levels, they check your weight, they'll check your blood pressure. They will also do an ultrasound, like a scan. So up until I can't remember, maybe month 4, it was be a transvaginal scan.
Wow.
Yeah. Before they then move to when you start showing and then the baby has grown to a certain extent, then they would start doing it above the tummy.
Wow.
So during the scan, they will check your placenta. They'll ensure that blood flow and everything is fine. They'll check your position. They'll check your baby as well.
Position.
Yeah. So that's it. But one of the greatest mistakes, or one of the biggest mistakes I made, was that I didn't find a midwife on time.
So I don't understand. Okay, you already have a gynecologist, so what do you need a midwife? I don't know. It's just somehow we're not used to, from Nigeria. Once you start the hospital, the doctor that is seeing you on your delivery day, nurses will just come rally round. Your doctor is present. Before you know, you're in the labor room, you're giving birth. So this going to look for midwife again. I don't get that part.
Okay, it can be quite overwhelming. It can be quite overwhelming here because you need to find, there's a specialist for everything, and then you need to find somebody for everything. So for me, I saw about 4 doctors throughout my pregnancy. So you need to find a midwife. Immediately you confirm your pregnancy, at that week 12, you start to find a midwife. Do you advise they wait till the week 12, or they start looking for midwife immediately they confirm pregnancy? So it depends. So in certain cities, bigger cities, it's more difficult to find one. So you can start.
So how do you find? Is it they recommend these midwives? Are they being recommended by your gynae or your GP, or how do you just go about looking for a midwife?
So your gynecologist typically will not recommend a midwife to you.
Wow.
So, but they can recommend a database where you can find one. Okay. I remember that my gynecologist actually recommended a database where I could find one. Okay. So there are databases online where you can actually register and then you find one, or there are actually sites where there are published lists of midwives near you.
That's
also Google is like your friend. You can just Google midwives near me and then they'll pull up a list. So you have to call them and ensure that they are available. The first question they will ask you is, when is your EDD?
Okay.
So once you tell them that, they will check their calendar to see if they can fit you in that period. So they don't like to take as many pregnant people. So for my experience, I started calling midwives late, and then unfortunately I couldn't find one.
Wow.
Also, as foreigners, it's important that you find somebody who can speak English and
Okay, so sorry, you mentioned midwife now, but still, what's the function of this midwife? In all the process.
Okay, so I mean, the midwife is more or less like an advocate for you. So the midwife helps you through 3 different stages. That's for prenatal care, for postnatal care, and also childcare. You can actually decide what you want your midwife to do for you. You can decide that you want your midwife only for postnatal care.
Wow.
Or you can, because your midwives actually come to your home 16 times, like they owe you 16 visits postnatal, but you can also have them for prenatal. You can have them for prenatal care. So they come in, they check that your pregnancy is progressing as it should. They also help you find find and use facilities that are available to you. So for example, I also made the mistake of not using those facilities. For example, attending betting classes, yoga, Lamaze classes, all of those are actually available to you, and they are all covered by your insurance. So
that's nice.
Yes, so your insurance covers that, so you can find these classes, and then so at every stage of your pregnancy
they tell you, it's just like them guiding you and telling you what to do. Wow, that's really nice.
Exactly. One of the biggest things that I would actually have loved from my midwife is that sometimes when you go for your doctor's appointment, maybe because of crowd or maybe because it was a busy day, you might not necessarily get enough time to actually discuss in detail with your
so you can do that with the midwife.
Yes, so your midwife can actually tell you when to go back to your gynecologist to stress a particular topic.
Wow, that's really nice. Now I get. So they just basically they're just there to just guide you, take care of you and all that. Wow, that's nice. Wow. Guys, people should like the video. Please give this video a thumbs up, leave your comments, share with family and friends if you are enjoying this video, and subscribe. Thank you. So let's move on. So after that, let's talk about betting itself. Okay. How was the experience like for you?
Okay, so again, just like everything in Germany, you have to find what you are comfortable with.
Okay.
So because we're in Wolfsburg and it's a small community, it's a small city, there's one big hospital here. Okay. So you don't necessarily have to find an hospital.
So wait, so if it was a bigger city, you still look for hospital on your own?
Yes, you have to find.
This is crazy.
You have to find and register, and you have to register on time, because there's the possibility that when you are due, the hospital might be full and they might not be able to take you then. So you have to find and register. So you can either find.
So we can say we are lucky that we are not in a very big city. We just have one hospital here. So definitely.
Yeah, they would. I mean, they will find the space. They will find the space for you, or at least they will refer you and help you get to where you need to be.
So when you are in labor, you don't even need to call your gynae, you don't need to call, or what do? You just go to the hospital?
No, so by week 36 of your pregnancy, your gynecologist would have sent you to the hospital with a letter. So you will go to the hospital, and then when you get to the hospital, you would go to the O1G, yes, so the labor and delivery there, and then you see the doctors, the gynecologists, on staff there. Yes. So it's at that point that you can now discuss things around your bed plan, because that is not even something you discuss with your gynecologist.
Wow.
Your gynecologist is just to monitor your pregnancy to week 40 or 40 plus 1 or whatever until birth. But for delivery, it's more or less like they hand you over to the next person who's going to take charge. So for me, when I went in for my week 36 appointments, what are the things that I discussed? I discussed pain management, in terms of, okay, what's their procedure around pain management? What are the available pain management options? Yes, epidurals are available. But Germany is very conservative, so they do not just give it on demand. They can give you if you insist on it, but I mean, you absolutely have to need it on. They also monitor the baby's heart rate to ensure that it's safe to administer.
Wow. Yes. So it's not like I want epidural, you must give me.
No. The doctor has to be on staff, because I mean, while you're even during your delivery, it's the midwives in the hospital that will attend to you, but the gynecologists will come in from time to time to see you. So it's the doctor that can only give approval for the epidural to be administered. So it's the midwives that will be with you all through your labor period.
Wow. What an insight. This information is really good, and I'm sure it will help lots of people out there. So after birth, during the birth, how the care, how was it like? Did you like the service provided and all that? How was it?
Okay, so for me, I would say that it was really good service. It was good service. I really enjoyed like my time. I'm grateful for it. It's very different from my experience in Nigeria, and also it's very different from what you see available online. So one thing that I found out was that most of the information that you find online are from people based in North America. That's America, Canada. So their experience is also very different from what you experience in Germany. The first things first is once you find that you need to pack a bag. Americans will tell you that you need to pack a bag to go to the hospital. Here you don't need to do anything. You don't need to. I mean, you don't need to pack a bag. All you have to do is just bring a bath towel. Bring your towel if you want slippers, and then maybe change your going home clothes.
Guys, I'm hearing this for the first time.
Yes, I mean, because for the first 3, you will be in the hospital for 3 days. Standard postpartum care for 3 days in the hospital, and everything that your baby needs is provided. They give your baby clothes. They give your baby.
Oh my God.
Everything your baby needs is provided.
Like, you don't need to pack a bag. Just
you don't need
go.
To.
Just take clothes for yourself.
Yes, I did pack a bag, and I didn't use anything in the bag.
Wow.
So yes, you don't need to.
So they don't give list, because in Nigeria, when you're about to give birth, they give you the hospital list, diaper, something, wool, ventilator, spirits, blade. So
No,
nothing like this.
They don't give you any of that. So they don't, because I specifically asked my doctor to say, is there anything that I should bring? Also, I specifically asked to say that should I bring formula as well, and what type of formula should I bring to the hospital? And then they said I didn't need to bring anything because Germany, they're actually very big on breastfeeding, and they will try as much as possible to get you to breastfeed if by choice. And even though maybe for some reason you cannot now breastfeed, they have protocols around that to ensure that the baby is fed.
The experience is totally different from mine, because I gave birth in Nigeria, so it's totally different. And no, this is a lot to process. So and after childbirth, how has it been postpartum for you?
Okay, so another thing that I actually missed out on is, like I said earlier, having a midwife. So one thing that they did offer me is, since I didn't have a midwife, so 2 things you also need to go to the hospital with. One, you need to go to the hospital with your pediatrician's number. So you have to find a pediatrician before your baby is born, so that you can register the
so before you give birth to the baby, see all this information that is just coming out left, right. So wait, let me get you right. Before you give birth, you need to look for a pediatrician for your child.
Yes, you need
because
to
you need that person's contact in the hospital.
Exactly.
So if you don't have any, it's not like, is a must?
Well, so it's not, if you don't have, there's nothing that can be done, but they would insist on you finding a
Why
pediatrician.
do they need the person's number?
So I think they do register because before you are discharged from the hospital on day 3, there's a pediatrician that actually comes to see the baby to ensure that the baby is fine and all of that. So there's a note that is written in your baby's baby pass. So for the mother, you get a mother pass, the mother pass. For the baby, you get kinder pass. So there are notes and letters that are written concerning the next phase of the baby, for your U1 to your whatever.
Yeah.
Also, in terms of tracking the baby's weight as well, all of that is noted in your baby's kinder pass, and then that information is expected to be passed on to the pediatrician that would continue to see
the baby. Okay, now I get. Wow, that's a lot. Thank you so much for this information. So guys, when she was gisting me, I was like, no, let me set up the camera and, just bring you people this nice and untold stories. Untold stories of things you've not heard before. Or if you're new in Germany and you're like, or you're pregnant, at least now you know what to expect. And so thank you. And don't forget to subscribe, please. Like the video. Thank you. Like the video and leave your comment down below. If you have given birth in Germany, how was your experience? So like I said earlier, she's just giving us her own experience and what she went through, and it might be different in some other cities. Like she said, some other cities you might need to look for hospitals yourself. So when it maybe, I don't know how you can check online or discuss with your gynae but gynae can recommend hospitals for you. You won't even know because we have only one hospital here.
I mean, what they can do is they can make recommendations to say, but they will not necessarily tell you that,
go here.
They cannot give you referrals. They can give you recommendation. I mean, the difference between a referral and recommendation, a referral is that they are telling you, go to so person, tell them that you are from me.
So for those in the big city, you have to look for hospitals, but in our city we have just one big hospital, so it's kind of easy. So anyway, that's it, and I hope you people have enjoyed this short video. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.